Soccerworld Fan TV here. It's kind of a surprise that we do have a Chelsea supporter, but he does want to give his thoughts about the game. I think he's absolutely devastated the fact that Tottenham did win and everything. But what are your thoughts about the game though?
First of all, I'd like to say, thank you to Harry Kane and Son for always providing for everyone's fantasy teams. Really putting in the shift. But yeah, uh, in terms of Tottenham winning, they're on good form. They could look like they're potential title contenders, but we'll have to see. They have some hard games to play. Yeah, they're versing us next week, and then they have Arsenal. They go away to Palace, and then they have Liverpool. So if they do well in those games, then we're gonna have to start taking them seriously as title contenders.
I can now finally see why he came to the game in the first place. Let's talk about the situations. First and foremost, Son's goal. I think in a Tottenham perspective, you'd say like that is like a brilliant run, especially Tanganga's. Is it? Oh my
And
god,
Ndombele, yeah,
Not.
and Ndombele.
I always get those two mixed up. I don't know why, but
That's fair.
Ndombele's
That's fair.
pass to Son, in a Tottenham perspective, you would think it's brilliant, but in a Man City perspective, I think you can agree as well. It was pretty poor defending.
Yeah. First of all, like I would say, it was a good like run by Kane to like kind of drag out the defender. I forget which defender, but I think it was
Laporte, I
Laporte,
think. Yeah.
which opened up the space for Son to get in. And yeah, it was also on Man City for sleeping. I also believe Ruben Diaz. I don't know where he was. So
And
yeah,
I did ask both a Man City supporter and of course the Spurs supporter about the VAR decision, and now I think it's all for you. Of course, we'll have other reactions and we'll see about it. But you're, I think, the deal breaker here as a neutral. Did you think that was a handball?
no, I completely disagree. I felt like it was more in this area, so definitely not a handball for me. I found it really funny. They showed it on the big screen, and I saw Rodri. He was like looking, and he was so astonished.
Do you think they should have showed more angles, to be honest? Because the thing is, they only showed like one angle of it constantly.
It's kind of hard to show like different angles when it's just the handball, like just in this area. So I don't know if a different angle would do it any justice, but yeah,
And potentially,
personally, potentially.
potentially, but I mean, it also depends on like where the cameras are. So it's, maybe that's the case. But yeah, on a Man City perspective, though, what do you think has gone wrong this season? Because in my perspective, they did have defensive problems last season and everything, right? And it looked justifiable because they were creating so many things and everything, but it just they weren't able to get the right passage of passes, and then eventually, because of a attacking situation, they were able to nick a goal and somehow win. Or at least that's how I saw it as well. And I think you would agree as well that
Yeah, they
within bad fortune and everything. But this season, um, I think also on an offensive end they're struggling as well. And why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I definitely believe that they're not their typical form. Like they're not the free flowing goal scoring Man City that we're used to seeing in the past couple years. Yeah, I don't know if it's completely down to personnel or tactics. Could be a bit of both. Maybe they haven't found like the right balance with the kind of the new personnel they have, like Ferran Torres, and like with their defense and everything. So
Hmm.
not been convinced by them.
So do you think? So I'm gonna ask two final questions. Do you think Tottenham, and with the season going on and everything, they can potentially challenge for the title? And then for in a Man City end, do you potentially think that with this mixed run of form and everything, do you think they'll be not able to pick themselves up, or do you think that this is just a purple patch? They'll be able to muster the storm coming later on this season.
Well, it's like I said with Tottenham, the next couple of games, it's very, very important for them to see how they do. Like they're versing some big teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. But if they do keep up the good momentum with those games, I feel they could be taken very seriously as title contenders. So it's definitely our job to prevent that next week at Stamford Bridge. In terms of Man City, yeah, I really don't know, to be honest. I guess we're gonna have to see and wait.
Well, the whole I love the fact that you were just like this whole analysis for Tottenham and the Man City's like, oh, I don't know.
I haven't watched them as much, being honest.
To be fair as well, and once again, thank you so much for giving like a reaction to the game and everything, and of course Spurs versus Chelsea. That's gonna be a really good one, or maybe maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. I haven't checked the fixture list on who's home and who's away.
Chelsea's home.
Okay,
yeah.
So Chelsea versus Spurs. All right, there we go. Chelsea versus Spurs coming soon. So hopefully you do turn up and give a reaction to the game, whether it's you win or you lose. We would love to hear your analysis of the game as always.
All right. Plug my Instagram. Link in the description.
Oh yeah.
Link in the bio.
If you want to also follow his stuff and everything, links will also be in the description and everything. If you like what he does, please give a like on his video and everything, and also share his video if you agree with his opinions or not. And of course, subscribe to the channel to see more Soccerworld reactions to the biggest of games out there. Thank you so much once again, and we'll see you.
Thanks for having me.
Y'all take care and peace, guys.